A bloody, tragic day for Syria. Multiple bomb attacks killed scores of people in the country's south. The so-called Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has put the death toll at over 180. Dozens of others are wounded in the attacks, which took place in the city of Suwayda. Daesh terrorists claim responsibility for the bloodshed. Syrian sources say government troops managed to kill several Daesh members who were planning to carry out more attacks. The province of Suwayda is under the control of the government, but it is sometimes targeted from neighboring provinces of Dara'a and Quneitra, which are partly controlled by the terrorists. A correspondent from Damascus, Muhammad Ali, joins us now to tell us more about this. Well, the last time we spoke, it was roughly around 50, maybe crept towards 100, but now the death toll has increased dramatically. What has led to this high death toll?
Yes, unfortunately, the number of people killed as a result of those explosions has risen to 166 killed civilians and 180 injured. This is according to head of the Suwayda Health Directorate over there in southwestern Syria. Unfortunately, the high number of people killed and injured is because the attack happened in a very crowded area, in a popular area. It was a public market inside the city of Suwayda. In the early hours of the morning, terrorists, Daesh terrorists, suicide bombers attacked wearing explosive belts those areas. The first explosion happened in that public market. Then there were two other suicide bombers chased down by security forces and army personnel inside the city of Suwayda, inside its quarters over there and neighborhoods. They were killed without being able to blow themselves up. Also, there was a fourth suicide bomber who was actually arrested alive before he was also able to blow himself up inside the National Hospital of Suwayda. And the only reason why there is a large number of people killed is that the explosion was a powerful one and it happened in a public area, a crowded area in a market over there. Coinciding over there with that suicide terrorist attack, there was also a ground attack by Daesh terrorists on various towns and villages in the countryside of Suwayda, 4 towns north of Suwayda and 2 to the east. The Syrian army, with the help of the locals over there, was able to repel those attacks. Now, if you look at the reasons behind such a attack by Daesh terrorists, it's definitely because of the advances made by the Syrian army against the terrorist group over there in southern Syria, particularly in Suwayda countryside and also northwest of Dara'a. There, the army just today was able to take control of more and more towns and villages, particularly Masakin, Jenin, and heading towards Jenin itself, which is in Al Yarmouk Valley, northwest of Dara'a, the only 6% of the province that Daesh is now controlling. Also, the army was able to secure areas south of Al Quneitra, close to Dara'a, also over there, called Syda Al Jolan, Khan, Syda Al Lobid, and Al Maqris. Even north of Suwayda, the army secured 2 villages, Douma and Araje. So it seems that such an attack comes because of the losses that those terrorists are suffering. Daesh, because they are actually knowing that the Syrian army has a lot of capabilities in that area and they want to stop the army in a way or another. This is why perhaps we have witnessed such an attack. The number of people killed could be actually rising more and more because there are still bodies being counted over there in various hospitals in Suwayda. Definitely a very powerful one, but despite all of that, the Syrian army says that it is determined to secure every inch of Syrian soil, particularly now in the south.
Thank you very much for that, Muhammad Ali, correspondent there from Damascus.